talk about TJ next, but I don't even know how you feel about that right now. I don't know if we're talking playoff, defense player of the year versus like regular season defense player of the year. Like, I don't even know right now. We're about to talk about Stephon Gilmore because he won defense player of the year, regular season, all caps. I just, just trying to figure out. Yeah. You help me explain. You help me understand. Because I'm confused.
You put it well there. Yes.
I'm so confused right now. So, yeah. Yeah.
What about it, man?
I'm just, yeah. What is your reaction? Because, yeah.
No, you go first.
No, man. You got it, bro. You go first, bro. Yeah.
Well, I didn't really watch him play. Mm-hmm. He's got some good stats. Got some picks. Got some returns for touchdowns. And basically, probably the reason why you ask is because there's a lot of outrage with Steeler Nation and Steeler fans that TJ Watt should have gotten it over him. And all right, let me put it this way. If you're going to pick a linebacker, and if you just want to say he's overrated, he's not the best corner. I mean, because people are saying Tre'Davious White is just as good as him. But so if you're going to pick a linebacker, then those other two dudes, it's pretty clear their stats
Chandler Jones, Shaq Barrett. Yeah,
their stats are better than TJ. So I just don't get where the outrage is right now. Yeah. I know we're biased. We want TJ to win, but I mean, those two dudes have 5 more sacks than him, 5 and 5.5 more sacks. And I think the other stats of like passes deflected or like forced fumbles, they're pretty similar. I think him and Chandler Jones both have 8 in that. TJ's got 2 picks. I think,
and then Shaq Barrett had 1 pick.
He had 1 pick. But dude, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Whenever you're talking about 5 sack differential there, and if you're looking at those numbers where they're not that far off, I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, he didn't deserve it. Like, he doesn't deserve defensive player of the year, but like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Gilmore getting it. And if those other 2 dudes would have gotten it, I don't think there would have been anything wrong with that either.
Yeah, man. So for me, I was biased either way because literally 3 of those guys that are running were all my former teammates: Gilmore, TJ Watt, and Chandler Jones. So I was going to be happy regardless. But I do think with Gilmore, I thought he was very deserving of the award. When you looked at his numbers, the most impressive stat is when you're thinking about the way football is played now, right? From a defensive standpoint, you can't touch receivers. We know that, right? And the rules are slanted so that way the offense has the advantage when it's catch points, when it's pass interference, things like that. It's set up for them to be successful. The fact that man has more touchdowns than the people that he guards as a whole. He scored 2 touchdowns. He's only allowed 1 touchdown. And it's not as if he's going against bums. He follows whoever their best receiver is. That's the guy he's lining up on. To me, that is just an insane stat. And then you throw in the fact that he's playing on the Patriots team, which is, they get a ton of media attention. That helps all the time. We talked about that and how that hurt Shaq Barrett and how that hurt Chandler Jones with the Cardinals because they don't play on big market teams where they're getting a lot of attention. For a while, the Patriots defense was talked about as the best defense of the year, right? That was the conversation for them a lot. And if Gilmore is having the impact that he's having on the quote unquote best defense, well then, that's why they were leaning towards that. I saw the argument that Bills fans were making in particular about Tre'Davious White, and I understand it. For Tre'Davious, he never allowed a touchdown, and that was cool, and I thought he definitely balled out in terms of the pass attempts against him. But the thing that when we talk about stats, sometimes not telling the whole story, a lot of times they were still throwing at Tre'Davious. He was making plays on the ball, but they were still taking chances at him. They weren't even looking at Gilmore at times. So it's like, how do you even say, well, this guy defended 500 passes versus this guy defending 300 something passes? Like, it's a reason why. Like, it's a reason. They don't look at that man's direction because when he was taking it to the crib. Mm-hmm. And that's night and day versus just, oh, well, he has all these pass deflections and things like that. It was kind of like the argument that we heard about Steven Nelson when he came over. It was like, man, he had 4 interceptions. That's dope. But they're like, well, he was the most targeted corner. So it's, all about perspective of how you want to view that. So I thought when we looked at that particular argument right there, I said, man, Gilmore. Then when we talked about TJ Watt, you already hit on it, man. With Chandler Jones, I think Chandler had 19 sacks. Shaq Barrett had 19 and a half. That's a big difference. People say, oh, it's only 5 sacks, not that big. Okay, it's 10 sacks compared to 5 sacks. Is that night and day? Without a doubt, yes. 15 versus 10, that's night and day. And if all the other stats are 1 or 2 difference, then yeah, you got to roll with the other guys in that regard. So I definitely thought the right guy won the award, and I was happy for him, man. Like I said, that was my young boy, man. When he got drafted, we was in Buffalo, so it was good to see him train with them as well during the offseason down in Charlotte. So it was definitely good to see that hard work pay off for him, even though he's with the Patriots, and I'm not a fan of the Patriots at all. It was just good to see him have some success.
I was gonna say, at least there's that little caveat for you, because I think people are a little more pissed off because of that, him being on the Patriots.
Yes.
But at least you could say you were a teammate with him. Good dude. So
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's good